Who do you think is gonna advance from each match? Let's start with the PSG and the Liverpool one. Who do you?
Man, that was crazy, bro. Because the highlights for the PSG versus Liverpool one, I saw it. Liverpool got extremely lucky, and it kind of surprised me because a lot of people were talking about how favorites Liverpool were to win the Champions League, and myself included. I thought that Liverpool were gonna be like dominant.
Yeah.
Let's say dominant. Well, forget dominant maybe, but just at least put up a better match.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see the game, of course, but they were saying that Liverpool didn't even shoot.
They only had one shot. The one shot was that one goal.
Yeah, but they didn't even shoot in the first 45 minutes, bro.
Yeah, that was surprising. I mean, we can say that Liverpool got lucky on this one, and I still think that Liverpool are going to advance.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so, bro. Because PSG was choked.
And then besides that, though, I will say that Anfield is not easy to play at.
It's not, bro. I mean, all teams that go to Anfield, they struggle.
Yeah,
look at Barca, bro. For example, let's not
Yeah.
go too far. Even Real Madrid this season.
Yeah, they've struggled.
In the group stage, they lost 2-0 right there.
Anfield's Anfield, bro. I will say that I would give Liverpool the edge on that
Me
one
too.
simply because I feel they're playing back at home. The return leg.
Yeah, I got Liverpool on this one, bro.
I knew, and then with Aston Villa, bro, I knew that Aston Villa was gonna.
Me too.
Remember I told you,
Yeah.
United Emery. When it comes to United Emery, which is surprising because if I'm not mistaken, Atalanta beat Juventus 4-0 this weekend.
No, Atalanta are not a bad team either.
Yeah.
But you know what, Aston Villa and Unai Emery are doing a pretty good season.
It's funny when Unai Emery, bro, like he seems to always do good with small clubs in a sense where they're not fighting for titles.
For titles, yeah.
Because you remember with PSG, he kind of had a bad spell, and at Arsenal too. You remember?
It seems like he likes to. It seems like he does good in teams that are underdogs.
Yeah, and I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's a bad coach. Maybe it's just the way he is. The where he kind of flourishes at with smaller clubs. But that's good though. Yeah. So I think Aston Villa is gonna make it.
So then you think, for example, the first quarterfinals, we're gonna have Liverpool and Aston Villa, right?
I
It's gonna be an
possibly
English
can see that.
quarterfinal.
Yeah, I could possibly see that.
I think so too. I think for that one we're gonna have that, and then we go down here, and then we have Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. Who do you think?
I think Real Madrid wins.
Yeah, bro. I think
Atletico
so.
Madrid was disappointed in the first
Yeah,
leg, bro.
they were. Yeah,
And I think both you and I said it that Atletico Madrid tends to kind of choke.
They do. It's because I feel like Real Madrid is Atletico Madrid's nightmare in the Champions League, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Real Madrid have the edge over them.
Besides that, though, I was kind of like disappointed because I felt that Atletico Madrid had like a fighting chance
They
in the first
did.
game.
No, they did.
I feel like they were playing pretty good, but Atletico Madrid always tend to do that, bro. Like they score a goal and then it's like they try to hold on to that goal. It's a 1-goal lead, a tie, whatever. But it's like, dude, go for the game.
And not only
They had
that,
the momentum.
and not only that, but what Atletico Madrid that I've noticed is when they play against Real Madrid in the Champions League, is that their players always seem to make mistakes, bro.
Yeah.
In the Champions League, I don't know why. Like in the league competitions, they do hell of a job against Real Madrid and against Barcelona. They do. Especially against Real Madrid in the league, they give them a hard time in the league.
Yeah,
when it comes to
I think for the league it's because of the derby, so they give them that extra edge where it's like
yeah,
it's like a derby.
And it's just one game, so they're not thinking about the second game, the return leg. But in the Champions League, bro, and especially in the knockout stage, they always seem to make mistakes against Real Madrid. And I think also it's because when they go one goal up against Real Madrid, bro, they try to defend that for the second leg.
And which they did. I mean,
That's
they were never up, but they tied up the game, and then it's like
They were trying to defend it, and then towards the end, you can kind of see that Atletico Madrid were okay with the 2-1.
Yeah.
Losing 2-1, and they were like, let's just take that result to the
But
return.
I do think that I personally think that if Atletico de Madrid wants to kind of be able to compete, they need to stop settling at games like that.
Yeah, they need to get off that mentality, They need to go for the games. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a return leg or if they're home or they're away. Each game, they have to go for it, because the big teams, that's what they do. For example, Real Madrid, when they play against City, they go for each game, even if they're home or they're away.
And Real Madrid went into the first game attacking them.
Yeah.
From the first minute.
Yeah.
Then they scored. Obviously, they're gonna kind of play more, safe, which is okay, of course. But they still never just sat back. They were still attacking them.
And I think Real Madrid, when they go to the Wanda, they're gonna go and attack Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
They're not gonna sit back. They're gonna go for the game.
And I think that Atletico Madrid got pretty lucky with Julian scoring that goal in a sense. I'm not saying Julian's goal was lucky. Yeah. It was a banger. But what I'm saying is like, it was an individual skill.
It was an individual.
So he did it by him. It's not like it was a team goal.
No.
So if Julian Alvarez would have never scored that goal, I mean, do you think Atletico Madrid would have probably made a goal?
Probably not, bro.
They were struggling that game.
Yeah, they were.
But yeah,
they were struggling with ideas.
I would say Real Madrid goes.
Real Madrid. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have Real Madrid too, to be honest. Okay, and then Arsenal and PSV. This is one that's pretty obvious.
I think PSV, they scored 10 goals on Arsenal, and they go make it to the next round. Nah, I think Arsenal makes it.
Yeah, bro. This is one of the ones that's pretty obvious out of all of them. So this was pretty straightforward. And then so we're gonna have a potential quarterfinal Real Madrid against Arsenal. That's the one that's gonna be interesting.
I want to see that
game,
but I am kind of nervous for that because Arsenal are kind of struggling with injuries and they don't have a 9 right now.
It's cool, but I like the way Arteta makes Arsenal play, and I like the way the Arsenal play. So I want to see what they can do against Real Madrid, even if they have injuries. Let's not forget Real Madrid have injuries too.
Yeah.
So both teams are gonna come in with injuries. It's not like Real Madrid have a full squad and they have their full 11. So.
But do you know who Arsenal is playing as their number 9?
Havertz?
No. They're not even playing with Havertz anymore. They're playing with Moreno. I forgot his name, but the dude who played in the Euros for Spain, the lefty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a youngster?
I think so. I think he's a little youngster. I'm not too sure of his age, but I remember we talked about that during the Euros. He was always coming in as a substitute. It was him and was Subamendi.
I think I remember.
Yeah, it was him. I think if you see him, you'll remember him. But yeah, he's been playing him. Pretty much, it's a center middle playing as a false nine. But he's doing good,
Yeah, he's.
But yeah, I think that. I'm not gonna go ahead and say that Real Madrid is gonna. I'm sorry that Arsenal is gonna be Real Madrid, but I will say it's gonna be an interesting game, and it's a game that I really wanted to see.
We want to see because we haven't seen that. We talked in earlier videos that we haven't seen that in over a decade.
And I want to see what Arsenal can do.
Yeah. Because even if they lose, I want to see if they stick to their idea of playing,
Mm-hmm.
and if they're able to do that at the Bernabeu. Because we always say, hey, we can't wait to see we see this team against Real Madrid, but then when they go to the Bernabeu, bro, it's like they change.
They forget how to play their.
It's like the players forget how to play, bro. They choke, they make mistakes. So I want to see what Arsenal can do at the Bernabeu. Not so much at the what's the stadium called? The
Emirates.
The Emirates. Not so much at the Emirates, but I want to see what they do at the Bernabeu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Because let's not forget that Arsenal also put 5 against City.
Yeah, they also tied up against Man this weekend 1-1.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they've been struggling. They've been struggling in the Premier League, bro.
Yeah, in the Premier League they have been struggling.
That Saka's not there. He's injured,
too, yeah.
And then I don't know if about Havertz is injured too. I'm not too sure. But I know Gabriel Jesus, which was the number 9, he's been injured. I'm not even too sure if Martinelli's playing, to be honest, bro.
From what I was reading in some of the comments, I think it was in ESPN, is that he is playing, but he's not.
He can't solidify that spot.
He's not at that level anymore. So for some reason he went down or something.
That's
That's why the Arsenal fans.
I am also curious to see Odegaard versus his former club.
Yeah, Odegaard. It sucks because Havertz was doing a pretty good job as a false 9.
Yeah, but it's because Arsenal kind of messed up on that, I believe too. I think they should have also gone for a number 9. They needed a number 9.
That's true.
When you look at maybe clubs like Chelsea. They reinforce themselves with a number 9. Bayern, of course, they did as well. Man United, whether he's doing good hold it or not, they reinforce themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's been Arsenal's maybe struggle right now in downfall.
They're not playing with a number 9 so far.
And you can only do that for so many seasons, bro.
That's true.
Look at City with before they got Haaland, they were playing with a false number 9, and it just wasn't really working out. I think Pep Guardiola realized that we need a number 9. Unless you're playing with a false 9 like Messi, and then
which I think that's what Tata was trying, but which I don't think Havertz was doing a bad job with. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think in the summer they're gonna need to go for a solid number 9.
Yeah.
But who do Arsenal get?
Bro, they could have gotten for Socrates. That's his name, right? The dude, the other
Sporting.
Him or también. I'm talking about the number 9 that just went to Atletico Madrid with alongside Julian Alvarez.
Oh, Sordov.
Yeah,
Sordov,
right?
him, yeah.
Why they didn't go for someone like him?
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe some clubs, I don't know if Arsenal has the money or not, but I feel that when you look at a position that you're going to have to reinforce, you should do it sooner rather than later because, some of those players can possibly have a great season, and next thing you know, you're paying maybe 30, 20 million more than what you originally were going to.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at Julian Alvarez, for example, right now.
Yeah.
Dude could be worth like 120 plus, whatever, when maybe Barcelona could have gotten him for 90 million. Who knows? Atletico Madrid got him.
Yeah, which that's
a different topic.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic. All right, so then after that, on the other side, we have Borussia Dortmund and Lille.
Borussia Dortmund won, right?
Yeah, I think they won that game by 3-1, no?
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but I believe they did. Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, yeah.
But I think this one, Borussia Dortmund is going to pass
Borussia
through.
Dortmund,
I have Borussia Dortmund on this one. And then down here, we have Bayern and Leverkusen. This is another surprising one,
3-1.
bro.
Oh,
3-0.
3-0.
That was surprising, bro. I honestly thought the Leverkusen were going to give Bayern a harder match.
But you know what? It's crazy, and I agree with you because I thought so too. I thought it was going to be like a very good match,
Mhm.
but I think that's when top teams show,
Yeah.
and I think that when teams aren't used to playing at that level, it shows as well.
Yeah, that's true because,
Yeah.
and Guardiola said this too. Pep Guardiola said that. He said, we have to be there. We have to be there constantly every year. We have to be there
Yeah.
because the players get used to being there. That's why Real Madrid does so good in the Champions League
Yeah.
because they're used to being in those
It's like a
stages.
natural for them.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, quarterfinals, it's a must for us. Like, we're used to getting there. Semifinals, we're used to getting to semifinals too. Barca, we're used to that too. Prior to this whole thing, that happened with the decline of Barca, right? With the A2.
Bartomeu.
Yeah, and the A2 slaughter of Bayern after that, Xavi was struggling to get them back there, but he did eventually get them back there,
Yeah.
to the quarterfinals. And I think now Barca, moving forward, should be able to get used to being in the quarterfinals for sure. And then aiming for at least the semifinals of the Champions League, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I think in this season too, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I told you this season for me. If Flick doesn't get into the semis, I think it's a sort of a failure on his part because if you look at the teams that are in front of him to get to the semis, that's one.
It's doable.
They're doable, and then two is Xavi got them to the quarters.
Mm-hmm.
So then what makes you? So why would we bring another coach just to get them to the quarters again?
And so in Europa League final, they kind of choked too last season.
Yeah, I guess Atalanta.
Yeah, Leverkusen.
They lost the final 3-0. 3-0,
Yeah.
they lost it too, right?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I was
they did.
surprised too.
I was surprised too, to be honest. But you know what? I think Xabi Alonso is gonna leave Leverkusen and probably go to Real Madrid or a bigger club.
Or Liverpool. Well, no, not Liverpool because it depends on this dude's good.
Yeah,
he's doing good. It could have been his season last season, maybe.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But I think Xabi Alonso is gonna leave Leverkusen. But I like what Xabi Alonso is doing to Leverkusen. He's getting them there.
Well, I mean, he did like.
He's getting there, and the important thing is to get there. That's the important thing. But anyway, so then down here we have Inter against who's this club right here? Feyenoord.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna win, but Inter goes in.
Yeah,
They
Inter.
won 2-0 the first leg.
Yeah, and
Right?
and Inter, bro. I mean,
I saw that first game.
I didn't see the highlights and nor did I see the game, but I saw the ESPN pundits were talking about it and they were saying that this was a solid, mature performance from Inter, and that's why I was telling you that Inter to me are gonna be, I think,
One of those sleepy clubs that
Yes.
people sleep on, huh?
I think Inter are one of those clubs where people are overlooking. They're thinking, oh yeah, it's gonna be Bayern, it's gonna be Barca, gonna make it to the final from this side. But Inter is just coming behind them and just doing their job. I think Inter are doing their job, so that's why if Inter make it to because I think they are gonna make it to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And they face Bayern Munich. I think Inter have a good chance of eliminating Bayern Munich.
You know what? That's honestly that would be a good game because you're practically talking about a club like Bayern Munich who likes to attack, and then in
Yeah.
my opinion, you're talking about a club like Inter who
Solid.
don't mind
Yeah.
attacking or defending, and like you said, they're very solid and just
Solid.
very compact.
Yeah, solid. They know what they're doing. They know their job. They know their idea. Just solid. Let's stay focused, defending well, and let's counterattack and take our chances.
Yeah.
That's basically the motto, and they're doing a good job on that. I would say they're doing a better job than Atletico Madrid are.
Oh yeah, and you know what's funny about Inter, dude? When it comes to Lautaro Martinez is one of those players where for his club he plays pretty
He
good.
does, yeah.
Sometimes for la selección,
For
you know,
Argentina,
he
he tends to choke.
He can reminds me of Higuain.
Yeah.
Higuain.
Yeah, he doesn't do as well. I mean, he has done well for Argentina,
Yeah.
but he tends to kind of choke sometimes
Well-
against with Argentina. But with Inter, he does a hell of a job.
The last Copa America, you know, he made the winning goal, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But you know, yeah. So let's just say that, you know, I think that Inter is
Yeah,
going
me
to
too.
advance, and I think they're also going to be a tough match for whoever has to play them.
Yeah, so then we're going to see our quarterfinal Inter against Bayern, in my opinion. And then we're going to see our quarterfinal here. We're going to see Borussia Dortmund. And then we go to Barcelona and Benfica. Okay, so that one, it's funny, bro, because remember we sat here and we said...
People thought that Benfica was going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah, it's
huh?
not only that, but we said, remember, we said this. We were like, okay, anything can happen. Let's say Barca get a red card or whatever.
Or somebody gets injured.
Or Pedri gets injured, remember you said? And bang, that's exactly what happened. Barca got a red card. And this is the thing, bro, like, I think Barca also need to go ahead and start making so many mistakes in the Champions
So
League.
many dumb mistakes.
They make a lot of clumsy mistakes in the Champions League, and those kind of mistakes are what knock you out of the Champions League, bro.
Yeah.
They knock you out of these stages. So, in my opinion, I like you said earlier, I do like how Barca were pretty composed, and they were able to defend as a team when they were with 10 men. I like that. But let's not forget that Benfica are not a Liverpool, they're not a Real Madrid, they're not a Bayern Munich, or even an Inter, or even an Arsenal, where if you go 10 men against any of those teams, you're possibly out.
Yeah, and let's not forget too, bro, that even when Barcelona were with 11 men, it was not easy for them to go ahead and play against Benfica. And we knew it, because we saw the group stages. And we go back and we said, Benfica gave us glimpse, what you said, of how Liverpool played.
Yeah, kind
and
of
I agreed with you, kind of fast, they're pressuring you, they're counterattacking you, they're very quick on the ball. They can bypass the whole middle with a, with a long ball, with a goalie pass. And that's the way they were playing. And Barcelona were kind of struggling, because if I'm not mistaken, Benfica were knocking on the door.
They were.
Before Barcelona. It was like...
The first 3 minutes, bro, they had a chance.
I was like, man, Barcelona's already here starting kind of bad. But point is, yes, we can take away the good things. Barcelona won. Barcelona, didn't maybe forget how to play, play style. Barcelona did they had more passes than Benfica throughout the whole game, even with 10 men. But like you said, I agree with you. They're not a Liverpool. They're not a Real Madrid. They're not even possibly, if City were still back in the competition, doing good, let's even say PSG, bro. That's exactly what happened to Barcelona with PSG.
With PSG.
Last season,
what happened. Right?
And last season, Araujo did it. This season, Kubarsi did it. And and sometimes I wonder, right? Because, well, look, whatever. I do think that it was a foul on breaking the jump because the player kind of pushed him.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm not gonna go ahead and say we're not gonna go ahead and base it off that. We're gonna go ahead and base it off on. So he bypasses the middle, of course, after that, and then. Kubarsi slide tackles him, and sometimes I just wonder. Sometimes I'm just like, look, it's 20 minutes within the game. You're playing the first leg, just let him go through. Doesn't matter if you're 1 goal down. You get me? You can possibly, you
can recover from that.
And a lot of people will say, well, yeah, dude, but Barcelona won. Yes, of course. But what I'm trying to say is, they weren't playing a team like Liverpool, Real Madrid, or PSG, possibly, or even the harder players, the harder teams. Who can possibly give Barcelona
and not only that, but if they would have had 11 men, they could have probably gotten home with a bigger lead.
Yeah.
Than just a 1-0. So that's the thing.
It
takes away from you from that possibility of going home with a bigger lead, because now you're suddenly with 10 men, 20 minutes into the game, 25 minutes into the game. So it's funny, and we said this, right, and we have talked about this. We're like, Barcelona need to start making these clumsy mistakes in the Champions League, bro. They gotta stop.
Yeah.
They gotta stop with those mistakes. Like you said, it's only 25 minutes into the game. Yeah, Kubarsi, he rarely makes mistakes. He's young too.
Yeah.
But just like Araujo did it last season, right? It's just let him go through. If he scores, you can still go ahead and recover from that. You can still go ahead and try to look for the game, try to win the game. But now all of a sudden you're with 10 men, and yeah, this is Benfica. But what if it was against a bigger team? Then Barca could have got home with a loss, bro.
Yeah, and remember we said it in the prior video.
Yeah.
We said that when we were talking about the first leg of Barcelona Benfica, we were saying that we could possibly see Barcelona winning by 1 or max 2 goals. That it was going to be a very complicated match.
Yeah.
But then we also possibly saw Barcelona drawing on this match.
Yeah.
And even possibly losing this match, because we know that Benfica was not a walk in the park. Like I said, a lot of people may look at Benfica, but maybe because they didn't really watch the first 2 games that they played in the group stages, where they gave Barcelona a hard.
They gave them a hard time, yeah.
And they're there for a reason. Every club out there, they're there for a reason. Of course, some are, better than others, but still doesn't take away the fact that it's football. Anything can happen in 90 minutes, bro.
Yeah, true. So, yeah.
But what do you think? Do you think Barcelona goes through? I think Barcelona goes through.
I would say Barca goes through. I think Barca, now that they're home, I think that's going to play to their advantage. I think... I still think it's not going to be an easy game. I still think that Benfica are going to have chances. But I also think that Barca are going to have their chances, and I think Barca, they have the attacking power to make 2 or 3 goals.